Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave. Meditation is not an action to be performed in a particular manner. Meditation is a process of unbecoming. Meditation is a process of undoing all what we have been doing in our life. It is a journey from the virtual to the actual reality. And therefore, this journey is not in time and space. Here we begin from nowhere and we end nowhere. If this is understood, then the process of meditation will help us. If we have this notion that if I do meditation, this will happen, my daughter-in-law will listen to me because I have done meditation, you are on the wrong platform. Nothing is going to change around us. Everything will remain as it is. It is something like you have gone to the temple, did namaskar to Bhagwan. Nothing happened to Bhagwan. Something has to happen to you because you are the one doing. See? Therefore, the real spiritual practice or meditation is when you are having this clear understanding that I will get something kind of imagination and I'll see the light and then there will be dancing. You know this, there is a cult, they keep on moving around themselves, dancing. That is meditation, dynamic meditation. Dynamic means you die for your name. Then there is the real meditation. But here we go on adding something special to us. See, friends. Therefore, only two things are to be understood in the whole process of meditation. Number one, we all suffer only because of identification with the body. Last night you were all snoring away. I can hear it. There was a big uproar going on. I came out, what happened? They are all in the other world. See? So in deep sleep, you were nowhere, you were nobody. See? As a result, you were happy. And whenever you are happy, you make noise. See? Like, for example, when you are getting married, that is the only day you are happy, therefore make noise. See? But when you have divorce, that time you don't make noise. Actually, that is the time of more happiness. But we don't understand that. See, friends, therefore, the most important thing to know is we have to get rid of this so-called body identification. Now we are taking ourselves to be body only out of sheer practice, nothing else. Anything which is achieved through practice, that is to be undone by the contrary practice. So we are not going to gain anything. It's the process of complete loss. See? Now to understand this, take your own daily experience. When we go to sleep, what is the process of going to sleep? That is the process of getting into meditation. See? So, we withdraw from the whole world, then we drop all our achievements and failures, and then we come back to our house. We drop all our relations and possessions. get into our room, go below the quilt, and the last mantra that goes on is I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. Till such time this I is wanting to sleep, the sleep doesn't begin. When ultimately even the I is dropped and the want, the desire is dropped, then the sleep begins. Be very attentive. And the one who wanted to sleep, he doesn't exist in the sleep. This is what you are. It is not a gain. It is a discovery. And whenever something is discovered, it already exists. Scientific discovery. The scientists do not create any special laws of nature. They do create in laws, but laws of nature are not created by the scientists. They are already there. Think. And therefore the first thing we have to learn, we are not going to do meditation. Now another important thing. We do not do waking. We are in the waking experience and then start our daily business. We don't do dreaming. We are in the dream and then have funny experiences. We don't do sleeping. We are in the sleep and then start snoring. Try to snore when you are awake. Even Kumbhakarna cannot snore when he is awake. If this is clear, so we have to be in the waking and then conduct the business of life. We are in the dream, then go through good and bad experiences. And we are in the deep sleep, then go on snoring. In the same manner, we have to be in meditation and then conduct the business of life. You are not going to gain anything out of meditation. If you have this idea that you are going to get something out of meditation, you have come to a wrong place. Now many of you have been hearing on the online. So in our class also we'll see that there are places where the people, you can sit down if you are tired, not tired of sitting. So, because somebody is standing there with a gun in the hand, do meditation, do meditation. See? So, there are places where people gather, crowds. The first place where maximum people gather is the entertainment festivals. Even after payment, they gather there. Huge crowds. The second place where people gather is the hospitals. Nobody is given an invitation. Please visit our hospital, fall ill. No, we ourselves go. Now the third place, we go to the temples. In all these three places, you will see huge crowds. First is bhoga, indulgence, enjoyment. That is the entertainments. The second one is the hospitals, roga. See, I got this problem, I got that problem, therefore doctor Sahab do this thing. So doc comes and does something. Then the third place where we gather or maximum people gather is the temples. All of us go to temple only for fulfillment of our desires. See, look within yourself sincerely. Have you gone to temple only for the sake of the Lord? Big list. Longer the list, longer is the namaskar. See. So these are the places, this is samsara. See. But when you are coming for Vedanta class, here you have to have qualification. The qualification is, you are not going to get anything. You are going to lose everything. And in such places, there won't be crowds. If you go to any gym place, there will be all those machines standing there. Arey koi to aao, please come somebody. There will be 20 machines standing there. There will be hardly 3 or 4 people. And then they say, 1 month free, please come. Even then nobody goes. Because who goes to gym? Those who are healthy and those who want to maintain the health. In the same manner, if we come here with an unhealthy condition of, I want this, I want this, I want to see God, what will you do by seeing God? See? Imagine I am God. You have seen me, what next? Chai kitne baje? See, friends, therefore let us give up all these misgivings. So 2 things to be achieved consciously. One is freedom from body identification, and second thing is freedom from the notion that I am a jiva, I am a soul, one per body. In karma or dharma shastra, in yoga, in upasana, everywhere there is one wrong notion that there is one soul per body. Like there is one soul per shoe. Spelling you may put anything, doesn't matter. But it is the soul only. Without the soul you cannot put on the shoe. Similarly, without the soul, the body cannot move. Spelling you may change, but the truth remains the same. See. But here we are told that there is no one soul per body. There is one reality expressing through all the bodies. This has to be achieved. So the first part is in the area of physicality, your asana, pranayam, but it is not for health and long life. See, you must have seen many people say if you do yoga you will live long. What will you do living long? A common thing. One person lives for 40 years, second for 80 years, third for 150 years, fourth for 200 years. Our Changdev Maharaj lived for 1400 years. Your old age will be longer, childhood will be small. If you are living 200 years, does it mean that your childhood will be 25 years? No, it will be the same 5, 6, 7 years. See friends, long life cannot be the goal of life. See friends, and therefore this should be clear that we have to get rid of body identification. Now the question is, unless we are convinced of this, we will not work on it. See, one of the most important things, what we lack is not sincerity. What we lack is understanding. Like we all have value and importance for money. Therefore, has anybody ever said that earning money is very difficult, therefore I am not going to earn? Come on, forget about it. On the contrary, because we have got value for the money, therefore on the table, below the table, around the table, behind the table, because we have value for that. Exactly the same way, when we will have value for this understanding, Then you will slowly start unfolding. Then after body identification only, I become mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, and this whole battalion is non-existing. But who becomes miserable? These non-existing entities. See, friends. And then they come and talk to us, Swamiji, my daughter doesn't listen to me, what should I do? Okay, I'll listen, tell me. See? Friends, understand, spiritual life is not crying all the time or tabla beti. Understanding should be clear. And therefore, Patanjali says, first of all, you have to start leading your spiritual life as yama. Yama is ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya. Now, all these 5 factors together are meant only for one thing. We should not be a problem to the world, and the world should not be taken as a problem to us. Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter. Yasmano dvijate loko, lokano dvijate chayaha, harsha marsha bhayodvegaihi, muktaha yas sachame priyaha. He who doesn't take the world as a problem, and he who is not a problem for the world. When we take the world as a problem, we are the mobile complaint boxes. Complain about everything. Why there is rains? Is it what can you do to such dumb people? Complain constant. And when we take ourselves to be the body, then complain about the body. Pain here, pain there. Swamiji, why there is too much of knee pain? The knees are meant only for paining. The only purpose. See, friends, stop complaining. This is one. Don't take the world as a place to complain. Second thing, we should not become a problem to others. How we become problem to others? In Ramcharitmanas, there is a story about Shivji and Sati. Sati's father, Daksha Prajapati, he was conducting some yajna. And everybody was invited except Shivji, because he was against his own son-in-law. And then when he was not invited, this daughter, Sati, wanted to go. So husband told very clearly, look here, where we are not invited, where we are not required, we should not go. This has started from then. If a wife listens to the husband, then she is not a real wife, adopted. See? And she doesn't listen. And all the samsara begins. See? We have to understand a simple thing. Where we are not required, don't go. Particularly, some of you are elders. We have to understand this. Don't meddle in the lives of your children. You have destroyed your life sufficiently. No, let them have the freedom. Why I am telling this, we come across many places this particular issue. Swamiji, my daughter-in-law is like that, my mother-in-law is like that. These things cannot be sorted out. See? Keep away. When these two things are done, then we have practiced yama sadhana, first step. Then comes niyam sadhana. This is all a part of meditation. Don't imagine simply sit like this, close the eyes and go to sleep. No. Like when we started, I was asked, family, should we put off the light? I said, no, they will already be sleeping. When they can sleep, when the lights are on. See. Therefore, the niyam sadhana is Shaucha Santosha Tapaswadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Niyamaha. 5 principles. And these 5 principles are, we should not be a problem to ourselves. We are a biggest problem to ourselves. As much we suffer because of ourselves, we don't suffer because of others. And then what we do? We become generous and go and distribute our suffering to others. See? Recognize this. Unless this is understood clearly, we are nowhere in meditation or spiritual path. So, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Svadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani, Niyamaha. 5 of them. Then comes the 3rd step, Asanam. I am taking these 8 steps, should be clear. Asanam is, don't get lost into various kinds of asanas. Like Bhujangasan, Ushtrasan, then Markatasan, then Marjarasan, Bhujangasan. All the complete zoology is standing there. No, don't get lost in that. According to Patanjali, Sthira Sukham Asanam. Whichever posture you are comfortable, whether in the chair or on the floor, wherever, be comfortable. Sthira Sukham. Don't get lost in various kinds of posture as the main issue. No. Sthira Sukham, you should be comfortable, that's it. And it can be possible under 2 conditions. Number 1, there should be minimum efforts in our life. Lesser the efforts, more normal we are. More the efforts, we are taken away from our normal condition. For example, those who are hard of hearing, they have to put lot of efforts to listen. And when you put efforts, you get tired. And therefore others are listening and he has switched off because he was tired. Therefore, Prayatna Shaithilya, don't struggle, don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. See friends, holier than thou, I want to prove something to somebody, this attitude should disappear from our mind. Prayatna Shaithilya. And this is possible Ananta Samapatibhyam, when we are nearer our own being. We don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. Remember this principle. The mother tries to prove, I love my daughter. But our love is like the, somewhere I have seen that in South Africa. There was one family and they had this, cub of a tiger, small one. A tiger is tiger. And when it was loving and scratching and blood was coming around, it was licking. Why love? See? But then they become obsessed. See friends. Therefore, Ananta Samapatibhyam, you be yourself. Don't meddle in anybody's life. Then see the joy of life. So this, up to here we have come to asana. Then pranayam. Health out of pranayam is a byproduct. The purpose of pranayam is the mind and the body, they remain stuck together by the glue of prana. As long as the pranas continue, the mind and the body remain together. When the prana goes out and forgets to return back, then the mind and the body, they are separated. That is called as the death of the body. Then what for the pranayama is done? To loosen this tight adherence between the body and the mind. This pranayama is done just to help us separate from the body under a very unique condition. The mind drops the body under 3 conditions. Number 1, in deep sleep. Mind drops the body. Body means body shape. That is a case of ignorance. Then the second one is under the condition of compulsion, that is death. And the third condition is this, what we are trying to understand. Neither going to sleep nor going to die. And yet let the mind be separated from the body, and thereafter we function through the body, we function through the mind. Like I am reaching you through the mic. The mic is not talking to you. See, friends, when this is understood clearly, then slowly one day by God's grace it clicks that we are not because of the body is because of us. After this is over, pranayam, how to do that, we'll do it in a while. Then pratyahar. Pratyahar is effortless withdrawal from the world. Ahara means to eat. Pratyahara means not to eat. Our happy mantra, dekho suno mat bolo. Let the world come to us through two channels, eyes and ears. But what we do normally, we react immediately. We have to comment. See? So when we are thus able to do pratyahar, don't get involved in this world on any issue. Pratyahar. After this is done, now be very attentive. Our life is divided into two parts. One is the external to the body, second is internal to the body, and the gateways are our sense organs. The world enters our mind through the gateways of the sense organs. And all experiences happen only in the mind. See. So the external disciplining under the meditation or meditative life is called Bahiranga Sadhana. So world is not an issue for us. We are not a problem for us. We are at peace with ourselves. Sthira Sukham Asanam. Then the fourth one is pranayam, not getting too much involved all the time with the body. Then pratyahar, the world is not allowed to enter our system haphazardly. We have to have clarity about it. After this is done, now we have to start working on the mind. Real meditation begins when we start working on our mind. See, we all work by our body in two ways. We work by the body so that you can do some work and earn money and sustain your life, working by the body. Then we work on the body. We go for exercise, we go for a walk, we do yoga, we go to the gym. This is working on the body. Exactly the same way. We have to learn working by the mind and working on the mind. Working by the mind is what? Default settings. About everything there is a kind of reaction. About everything. See? Comments, suggestions, questions. This is working by the mind. See? Then what is working on the mind? Dekho suno mat bolo. Work on the mind. So when we have to work on the mind, we have to know also what is the disturbed mind. Many people ask this question. Haji, my mind is disturbed. I said, what can I do? It's your mind. You mind. Now what should I do? So before you want to work on your mind, you must define What is a disturbed mind? We simply say mind is disturbed. But can you define what is a disturbed mind? Disturbed mind is that mind which runs in time, space and objects. See? So it runs from one place to another place. Oh, this place we have come here about 15 years before, now it has changed so much time. But that ashram there in Badrinath is so good, but it is very cold there. Space. See? And is it necessary that you have to have the Rudraksha Mala? Can we do the japa with the Tulasi Mala? Objects. So the mind is constantly running in time, space and object. Controlling the mind with reference to these three parameters is working on the mind. See? When all these factors are put together in a proper way, then we have to work on separating the mind from the body. That which is included in the mind, that only exists for us. That which is not included in the mind doesn't exist for us. A very simple rule. See? This thought comes in Panchadashi. One person told the other person just to harass him that, hey, I heard that your son met with a terrible accident in US. So this person got frustrated. Oh God, I told him not to do this, not to do that. In old age, the wives grow wiser and husbands go dumber. So he became excited. I told him, Mom. Then she said, keep cool, keep cool. Call him and find out. Then he... Reaction. So he called. And then the son scolded. How many times I told you, don't call, this is not the time to call me. Put down the phone. He is happy. Now where all this thing is happening? First, a news that your son met with an accident, whether it happened or not doesn't matter. But immediate impact. And when it is so known that nothing has happened, again happy. So where is everything happening in our life? Not in the body, only in the mind. We have taken care of everything in our life. Wealth, property, relations. But we have never taken care of our mind. Right from childhood till date, has anybody taught us how to think? Parents never teach us, they only complain, they only scold, they themselves do not know. Then we go to the schools and colleges, there also the same thing. And ultimately you take psychology and become a psychic patient. Those who are good for nothing, they take psychology. See, friends, therefore we have to start working on the mind. Now take this example. These lights all around. We can see so many people, is it not? Now between this object which you are seeing, a glass, and this mouse which you are seeing here, both of them are seen. In between these two objects, is there light? Think. There is light, but the light is unmanifest. If there is no light between the two objects, then when I keep this handkerchief, it should not be seen. So what is the light in between? It is a dark light. And the dark light becomes manifest. We call reflected light when an object is kept. So everything is in the light. Exactly the same way. our body is in the mind. Our understanding is the mind is in the body. In the body, the mind is manifest mind. That manifest mind creates an individuality. Like the light itself doesn't have any color, any shape. But when it lands on this particular object with color and shape, it takes a size, shape. In the same manner, mind is one, common to all of us. There are not many minds. Like there is only common light for all of us. We are all in the light, exactly the same way. We are all in one mind. Minds are not many. See, but what happens? The mind by itself is formless, colorless, attributeless. But when the same mind includes a particular body, immediately the mind becomes manifest. And what is the manifestation? Depending upon the object which is included in the mind. So if the object is man's body, beard will grow. See? If the object is a donkey, newspaper will be eaten. Think. Therefore, meditation is a journey from the virtual I to the actual I. Now, to understand it in your day-to-day example, meditation is the journey from the husband to the man, not from the husband to the wife. It is a torture. See, husband to the man, or wife to the woman. That journey is meditation. And then you will come to know one day by God's grace that we are all miserable. Those who do not exist. Who is miserable? Mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. Show them. These non-existing entities are problematic. How can you help them? This understanding, when it becomes firm, you will not struggle in meditation. See? Then the very purpose, the meaning of life is distinctly clear. So when we use a GPS, we require minimum 2 points. Point of origin and destination. So what is our point of origin? This world. Now what is the world? 2 things. Possessions and relations. This is the world for us. Point of origin. Destination. Ekameva Dvitiya. Absolute reality. So we start from the relativity and dissolve in the absolute. And the relativity begins after body identification. Therefore, this example which I gave you, in deep sleep, we are nobody, no relativity. See? That husband who cannot dare look at his wife when they sleep, he snores so loudly. Where from the courage comes? No more a husband. क्या समझ के रखा है? See, friends, all the problems are for these non-existing entities. Therefore, the real meditation is any issue that comes in our life, first question you ask to yourself, to whom is this problem? then we will come to know every thought erupts from the seed of Mr. Somebody. Somebody will have always some problem. Nobody will have no problem. So meditation is a conscious understanding and our journey from somebody to nobody. And we all become somebody only after body identification. Therefore, with this much clarity, when you are sitting, now what will be the goal of our meditation today? Freedom from body identification. Now, like you have seen the tripod of my camera, it is so steady. You are constantly moving one leg here, then one leg here, then you hold the leg, it may not run somewhere. Again you leave it in other leg, you love your leg so much. Not steady at all. Now see the tripod, absolutely steady. What is the reason? Reason is, it is having a perfect posture. The center of gravity lands exactly in the center. In the same manner, when you are sitting, doesn't matter a chair or on the floor, you have to see that the center of your gravity of your body lands exactly in the center of the two sitting bones, what they call the ischai points or the pin bones. In the center of these two bones, that means on the two bones, the weight should land perfectly. When you are sitting whichever way, you sit in such a manner that see that your weight of the body lands over there. Whether it is in the chair or doesn't matter. Then second thing, keep your hands interlocked, fingers, 3 of them, index to index, thumb to thumb, or whichever way, and land them in your lap so that the center of gravity doesn't get disturbed. Now the third point is, we have to get rid of the body identification. How to do that? First we must know what is body identification. It is something like this object. When I am holding this object in my hand, and if I have to write something without giving away this object, my handwriting will be influenced by the hold on this object, is it not? If I want to bring out my original handwriting, then I must drop this object. So as long as we are holding on to the body identification, our mind will start thinking in relation to the body. See, we have to know this. So what is important is that this body identification has to be given up. This must go deep in our understanding. And for that, what we do, if I have to give up this object, I don't suddenly give up, I slowly give up and land it properly. It is not destroyed. Exactly the same way, we start from the top, come to the toe, and part by part we start relaxing the body. In fact, you will be relaxing the mind. Although instruction will be relax the body, but you will be relaxing the mind. Like in a carry bag, if you have got a pumpkin and you lift that bag, the tension is not on the pumpkin, it is on the carry bag. Exactly. In the bag of the mind is the body contained. See. So when we sit properly, then we start with few psychological adjustments. Number one, we are all here on our own, cheerfully, happily. Don't do meditation in a frustrated mood. फिर से meditation, बैठो हाँ क्या करना है? No. Don't force yourself. You don't want, get out or sleep. Don't force yourself. Be cheerful and happy. Second thing, remember in your heart is your beloved God and your Guru. The God protects us from within and the Guru guides us from within. Then we come to the third step. We have to drop our total past. And that is achieved by taking a position, being nobody. At this moment, I am nobody. No mother, father, brother, husband, wife, daughter, nothing. Remain nobody. Total past is dropped. Then the next thing, adjustment, psychological. We do not plan what we will do after meditation. Don't plan anything. If you plan that after meditation I will go and wash my clothes, your whole meditation will be applying soap. Don't do that. Now net result will be you are now in the utter present. Because you are now committed to some cause. Now with this psychological adjustments, now we start giving instruction to the body, in fact to the mind. Relax the head muscles, relax the forehead muscles, relax the eyebrows, let there be no pressure on the eyeballs. Don't try to see anything. Relax the nose, the face muscles, lips, chin. Relax the neck from all the four sides, throat, sides below the ears and the neck area. Hang down your shoulders. They are lifted up for no reason. Relax the shoulder joint, the upper arm, the elbows, the lower arms, wrists, palms and fingers. Relax, relax, relax. Let us take a pause here for a moment. Now if you stand apart and watch your body, you will see your body is divided in two parts. That which is relaxed and that which is not yet relaxed. The relaxed parts, that is the hand, shoulder, etc., they are landed in our lap. The weight of our hands has increased in our lap. The index fingers and the thumbs are pressing against each other very hard. And the rest of the body is still carrying some tension, muscle tone. Now come back to the shoulders. Now let us relax the trunk. From the front, go from the chest downward slowly. Relax, relax, relax. Right up to the floor. Relax, relax. Like a wave, relaxation wave goes down. Similarly, relax on both the sides, from shoulders below right up to the hip joints. Relax, relax, relax. Go to the back side and also relax from the head, the neck, along the spine, along the long muscle. Go slowly downwards. Relax, relax, relax. Right up to the hips. Now second pause. The weight of your body has increased on the base. If it has happened properly, you may get the pulsation at the sitting points. Now relax the hips, the hip joints, thighs, relax the knees, relax the calf muscles, both, go downwards up to the ankle joints, relax them, relax the heels and relax the toes. As if you eject out yourself out of the body. There are so many bodies sitting here, like you observe all of them, there is one body which we claim this is me. Now stand in front of your body, away. Don't forget you are outside the body. Take the front look of your own body. And go from the top to the bottom and relax if there are tension patches anywhere. Go to the right side of your body. Same thing, take the right view of the body, right side of the head, right ear, go downwards up to the hip joints. Relax if there are some patches of tensions. Go to the back side of the body. Don't forget you are outside. Repeat the same process from the top to the bottom. Go slowly like a wave of relaxation. Now come to the left side of the body. This side you will get more tensions because the three sides are relaxed. Follow the same procedure and relax the tension patches if they appear on the way, right up to the hip joints. Now the body shape, contour line has almost disappeared. Therefore, the concept I am inside, the world is outside is redundant. Now the mind has dropped this body from its content. Therefore, mind has no reference to think. So at this stage, do not talk to yourself and listen to silence. Any thought comes, postpone it. Not now. Listening to silence means not getting disturbed by any sound. Silence cannot be heard. Ears can only hear the sounds, not the silence. So listening to silence is remain undisturbed by any stimulus. Because the body has disappeared from the mind, there won't be any pressure inside any point, either in the heart or in the chest or in the top of your head. All these funny things will disappear. Because the body is already dropped. Now your experience is like the space. No shape, no size, no gender, no inside, no outside. Just being. Do not fight with the mind. Relax. And discover that there are two types of thoughts if they are coming. One are with reference to the immediate body identification, and second are the memories or the future worries. So remind, at this moment I am nobody, no memories. No planning for the future, so no thoughts. Remain as nobody. Take a deep breath slowly, once or twice or thrice, and see how the mind includes the body in its womb. Then the non-specific common mind has become now specific individual mind. And as a result, somebody is born. And this somebody is the culprit. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.